Well, I've seen a few of your interviews and I've seen your show reel as well, and it's really an honor that you felt that I can be part of your show.
In recent times, I think we have experienced many celebrity deaths, and the portrayal of the news to
Right.
many extents have gone uh, beyond our perception. The way death of a celebrity used to be portrayed in previously, the concept has now changed. As an experienced journalist, as a veteran journalist, how do you see this situation?
See, honestly, it doesn't seem nice that we are passing maybe judgments on anyone else, because, but still, there have been certain things which I think have been in really bad taste. So I can say it all maybe in a way it started with Sridevi ji's unfortunate death, and the way that was covered. I think that left a really bad taste from the first day itself. Ideally, our job should be, in such cases, it should be of that of reporting. We should report facts. And I still remember her her death happened in Dubai, and because of the fact that Dubai is not a democracy, and they have certain press regulations. So what really happened was that we were getting all the reports, and they were only reports. Factual reports were coming from Dubai, that now this has happened, now this is going for this test, and now it is going for this post-mortem, and this is going to happen. So I was following their media, and I felt that quite a few of them, they were Indians who were working over there, and I thought that they were covering it very responsibly. Either if the video reports were there, they were being factual. If the text reports were there, they were being factual. While in India, from the first day itself, the narrative was that maybe she was taking some beauty treatment, or she was trying to get slim, and that's really affected. So first day, the entire debate was around that why it's not a good idea to go for cosmetic surgeries and all those things. So that was the first narrative. And then the second narrative was that it was a murder, and then we had these bathtubs in all the newsrooms on the news channels. So I don't know, that someone has passed away, and you're trying to create a scene that this is how it must have happened. Ideally there should be some regulations, because see, she was not anyone, and many times the news channels, they don't realize that these stars, they have tremendous following. They have a tremendous following. People are actually invested emotionally. Say for Sridevi, she had a huge body of work, not only in Hindi, but her body of work down south is far bigger, both in terms of volumes, as well as she was like a goddess in terms of Tamil cinema and all that. So people were getting hurt the way it was being portrayed, the way the entire news was coming out, the way it was being presented. People were hurt. And then we saw in recent times with Rishi Kapoor ji, for example, those videos that were leaked from the hospital. They were, I think, in extremely bad taste. Whoever really just leaked them, and then say that particular video when that guy was singing along with the Rishi ji, and it was said that this is the last phase of him, and quite a few media groups, they actually carried that video, just stating the fact that this was his last video and all that.
Without proper
And it was
checking whether that was the last video or not.
Yeah, and it was February. It was
Actually,
February.
there are ways and avenues of checking whether it is real or there are factual errors. So,
Yeah.
but
And even one more video of like him breathing very heavily, and that's someone from within the hospital released that. So see, first of all, taking that video was in bad taste, and after that, there should be certain regulations. There are examples in foreign countries when in certain extraordinary situations, The entire social media is such sanitized. The WhatsApp and all that, they're sanitized. You cannot be having these certain visuals on you. You're not supposed to, like New Zealand mosque attack, for example, or like say the terror attack in France, for example. It was specifically so they have France, for example, they have these this rule that you cannot be showing the bodies. You cannot be.
Yeah.
It's something that is meant to. It will incite anger amongst people. So they have those policies. So it is important. Like in Sushant's case, for example, you are in the same WhatsApp group, and the way that picture. So even I was having it beforehand, but obviously the moment I received it, I was like, that how can someone leak it? And this is not going anywhere. This cannot be going anywhere. And then someone shared it, and after that there was this discussion in some other group that, see, as media people, if we don't share it, someone else will be sharing it. But there was an outrage when those pictures came out, and the frivolous manner in which the certain people, they went to his house, and they were asking his father, what reaction can you possibly get? Like somehow, people should be like, even all of us are human beings. We should put ourselves in those shoes, that how will we feel if someone close to us meets this tragic fate, and the same day, within hours, you're trying to just put some sort of mics on their faces. So I think it's not in good taste. And the way things have been happening, you're aware of it in the last 10, 12 days, the way the speculation, and so it's important that you report certain things. Too much of speculation and opinion, I think it's really not a good idea.
Something was really frightening, that a reporter is getting an access into Sushant's home in Patna. Suppose it was anybody who is from the big wigs of Bollywood. Can any reporter or media person get an entry like this and disturb them? Is that possible?
No, see, anything is possible. So, these days people, certain people, they don't have any fear. They don't have any fear of anyone. I still remember, like in Sridevi ji's case, Arjun came from somewhere. He was at the airport, and he was at his own gate, the gate of his house, and the way the cameras and the mics were thrust into his face, he was not even able to go inside his own house. So Boni Kapoor's family is a substantially big family, Anil Kapoor and the entire Kapoor. So it's not that, these days anything can happen. These days you really don't know. Like Jaya Bachchan ji, for example, she has cautioned certain people at times. You see, this is not the way. And so, see, many a times, even we need to understand that even photographers, and even they are doing a job, like say in these circumstances when Corona has struck. So people are having very difficult times in terms of even livelihood, because there's nothing is happening. So many a time the photographers, they stand the entire night. They're outside the houses, even when it is raining. So it is a lot of hard work. It is not that, and even they are doing. Ultimately, it's a livelihood for them. The only thing is, maybe it can be. I really don't know how to say it, but I think all that we can possibly have is be slightly more sensitive.
I'd like to ask you a question. Since our topic is responsibility of celebrity journalists, or responsibilities of celebrity journalism, do you ever feel that in this rat race of doing breaking news, we as a journalist are losing our own self-esteem and giving into something which actually doesn't pay in the long run? To many extent,
once again, I would like to say that see, I'm a nobody to pass judgments on anyone, or to give lectures that this is the way journalism should be practiced. That is not the idea. I don't think that that is the idea. And see, each to his own, because many a times even journalists, they have pressures from their bosses.
Yes.
Right now, because of the pandemic, a lot of the journalists in various publishing houses and groups, they're losing their jobs. There have been salary cuts, and so it's a very bad time as well. So for us to pass judgments, it's very easy, but people are going through tough times when they're told by their bosses that this is something that you have to ask, this is something that you have to do. They end up doing it because ultimately it's a job for them, because they have families, and especially now it is really like a bad situation for a lot of people. So it is not fair for me to pass judgment on anyone that what is it that they should be doing. I can just say that, see, this is what I would do, and I would try to do, because there may have been occasions when even maybe I may have faltered. It is not that I'm this paragon of virtue and that I'm perfect. No one is perfect. I think all of us, we make mistakes, and all of us, we may not live up to the expectations that other people have of us. We may feel that whatever we did was right, but other person may feel that, no, this is you should have done it this way. So I wouldn't want to really pass judgments on anyone. All I can say is that we should try and be sensitive. We should try and think from this perspective that if something of this sort happens to anyone who's close to us, whether we will like if someone is trying to poke nose into it, if anyone is just asking uncomfortable questions about the loved one that we have lost. So we should try and maybe think from that perspective. So that's all I can say. But I understand a lot of people, they have a lot of compulsions. Many a times they're told to do certain things, and that is why they end up doing it. And some people they enjoy the thrill of social media.
Non-cooperation from their own media house. I have seen many. It happens to many people, many media persons, that they face a non-cooperation from their own media house. They are trying to make them, make their bosses or the authorities. Trying to say that it is not possible under these circumstances. It's not possible. But sometimes field journalists get a thrash from their authorities in a bad way.
No, definitely. One thing that all of us can try to learn, I think maybe, but it is easier said than done. But still, considering that we are under this lockdown and pandemic for the last 3 months in India, and now what has happened, say for example with Sushant, for example, all this debate around mental health, I think it's very important. It's very important not to be too cutthroat. It's very important. So I was talking to Manoj Bajpayee, and we were talking about the fact that Manoj Bajpayee, even though they were in the same film, and actors, they invariably end up competing with each other, either consciously or they're made to compete with each other. But he was someone who was praising him. He was someone who was egging him on, and he was just talking about the fact that he's really like something else about Sushant. This was before he Sonchiriya promotion, during Sonchiriya promotions. So I think it's we should be sensitive to each other. We should try and be kind to each other if possible. Doing well is something which is everyone should try to excel. But it doesn't mean that that you try to stop anyone, you try to throw spanners in someone's path. And see, you are from media, you may have experienced it within media as well. There are many a times a lot of bad practices that they tend to happen in terms of one journalist trying to pull down the other one. Like say, I personally experienced that. And like say, if you are, like say, you have a very substantial following of your own, I'm sure that you must have experienced. I have experienced as well that there are attempts to just badmouth you, or just in a way just create a certain perception around you. So those things that tend to happen. But all I feel is that see, we should we should try and excel in what we are doing instead of trying to pull anyone else back. And because ultimately it is your talent that will come through. If you're trying to be excellent in whatever you're doing, like what was said in Three Idiots, for example, the Amir Khan line, that excellence ka picha karo, success jhak maar ke piche aayegi. I think it's a very valid thing, and it's a very valid thing that, and it's not so. It is that cutthroat element which is there in either in media or entertainment industry. I think we need to rethink about that. We should mentor people. We should youngsters who are coming up. It's important to talk to them and just see if they can move up, because that is a thrill in itself to see young people going ahead and you realizing that you had a role to play in them going ahead, moving ahead, because everyone needs a helping hand. We cannot deny the fact that I can do it. I've done it on my own, and everyone needs it. So I hope that debate at least should happen. People should try and be more kind, and it's not a sign of weakness for sure.
I'd appreciate your lines. These are very important lines. Those who are pursuing celebrity journalism or entertainment journalism must remember these lines of Faridoon sir. I feel that mostly people call you sir.
No, it's okay. It's and one more important thing, Sharmila. It is also important that us, like all of us in media, we should also support actors who are not stars.
Yes.
Not because
only
many are
technicians also, because
technicians. Yeah, absolutely. Choreographers, technicians, singers, music composers. It's very important because many a times no one really takes note of them, and one interview from any of us can really do wonders for them. It may not do wonders for us, but we can always do 2 more interviews to compensate easily. But if we support those artists, it can really help them come ahead and make something out of their lives. We don't realize, but it makes a difference.
I'd like to ask you a very pertinent question. Faridoon bhai, you are into this medium for such a long time, and you have faced adversities, and you have come out with success, and now you are a big name in all over India, I would say. Do you ever feel that journalism should portray an actor's illustrious filmography rather than portraying some gossip kind of things in his or her life?
Personally, I believe in infotainment, because we need to understand that cinema is inherently, especially in a country like India, cinema is a medium for entertainment. Because what happens in other countries, people have a lot of mediums for entertainment. Even like theatre, for example, a lot of people, they go to theatre and they watch plays, or they go to art galleries, or they go to listen to operas or Western classical concerts, and a lot of other things, or they travel. But in India, we have very limited choices when it comes to entertainment, and cinema is a means of entertainment for a huge number of people, especially in the smaller towns. So when we're talking about entertainment, serious conversations, definitely they are important. And I think all of us, we do it, and we should do it. But at the same time, so I go by the context. If a movie is entertaining, for example, like for example, if you're doing an interview for a movie like Student of the Year 2, where there is Tiger and Tara and Ananya, for example. So it's a newcomer. It's a young film. It's looking entertaining, and it's a musical and all that. Or like something like Pati Patni or Wo with Ananya and Bhumi and Kartik Aaryan, or like Love Aajkal with Sara and Kartik, for example, or any of the Koli number 1, for example, or many of the others. So they are entertaining films. So what we try to do is we play some quiz with them, which is going by the context of their film, the theme of their film, and we try and make it entertaining because they are competing for it, and it's like a healthy competition. They are having fun, or like we try and ask them about the film, what the film is all about, and if it is entertaining from the promos, so they end up having fun. So I think there is no harm in it, as long as when it comes to actually posting those videos, we should be careful that we should not give headlines which are not there in the content, because that is something that you'll be cheating them if you are trying to misrepresent them in any way whatsoever. And ultimately, one needs to realize that if you want to have a long-standing relationship, so you cannot be breaking the trust of people whom you are going to be invariably meeting at some point of time or the other. So that thing is important. And I personally feel, see, gossip is a very wide word. Gossip is something when you are bitching about someone. Gossip is something that which is hurtful, which can be demeaning for someone, which can really affect people. So that is something which is not nice. But if you are
I mean,
if you are being entertaining on camera, without it should not really be hurtful of others. You're not consciously trying to just create any sort of controversy or any sort of just hurting anyone. That is something that we need to be careful about. But infotainment is important because there's a huge younger audience that looks up to these stars, and they like being entertained. They like having some entertaining and fun and light-hearted moments in that. So it all boils down to context. If you're talking to Manoj Bajpayee for Bhosle, it has to be a serious conversation. It has to be that how did you generate the money? It's like 4 years he was working for just to get the money for that, and then it is coming on an OTT platform. What it means, or someone like Sushmita Sen, for example, she's coming back after 10 years. What really happened, and other things. So there the context is something else. So when I interview someone like Brijinder Kala, for example, he's a character artist, and he was there in such a fine actor. So it's our responsibility. So we actually searched for him. I saw this movie Dolly Ki Doli, and his performance was very nice, and he was one of the writers. So we actually searched for his number. We found him, and he didn't have any place to invite us. So he arranged for a producer's office, and we went over there, and we spoke to him. We made him comfortable, and it was so many people watched that conversation. So I still remember I was walking at one of the malls, Infinity Mall in Andheri. I just finished one interview, and I was just walking. So there's this boy who came in, and he saw me, and he started making a video with me on his mobile. So I was like, that I could understand the excitement, and he just started making a video, and that I'm with Faridoon and this and that and blah 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 whatever. And one day he will be doing my interview as well. So he told me that he's an aspiring actor as well. So once he made that video, he told me that he had seen that Brijinder Kala ka interview, and he felt that if Brijinder Kala can be interviewed, then even I can make it, and even I may get interviewed. So we never know
what inspirational step.
We never know that how it may impact, and that boy, I tried my best not to make him feel awkward, because strugglers who come from outside, we should be sensitive to them as well.
Yeah.
Try and talk to them, and just don't discourage them. Yeah, don't discourage them. Don't give them false hopes कि तुम मुझे फोन करना और मैं तुम्हें मिलवा दूंगा किसी से. वो भी गलत है. But yes, you can tell them that go to Prithvi Theatre and watch plays. Try to better your craft, because जितना आपका काम अच्छा होगा उतना आपको आसानी होगी काम मिलने में. Like Rajpal Yadav, for example, he came from outside. He was such a stunning actor. He got work, and he really made a name for himself.
See his background, my God.
There are many examples. Struggle will always be a part. And we should just, I don't know. There are a lot of ways of looking at this.
I feel struggle is permanent and success is fleeting. And
Absolutely, and one should
you should have your own definition of success, and defining
absolutely,
success is not easy.
absolutely,
Success is not a reality show. Even a reality show winner is not successful.
absolutely,
Success you have to
absolutely,
define in your own terms. But that's
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.